America is always known as the Great Melting Pot, a place where people of all backgrounds, races, and ethnicities can come, work hard, and achieve their American dream. But where do we come from? I'm here with Dr. Anita Foeman, Professor of Communication Studies, to talk to her about her DNA project to try to figure out where people at Westchester come from. So can you tell me about the project and how it started?
Sure. The project started about 12 years ago when I got a grant from the Multicultural Faculty Commission to test 3 people. One person was black identified, one person identified as white, and one person identified as mixed. Each kit was $450, so I got a grant for $1,500, and they were much more clunky than they are today. But even at that, we found many things in their backgrounds.
Okay. Can you come up with a specific anecdote of, well, how many people have you tested so far?
Well, at this point, we're up over 3,000.
Wow.
But it took
amazing.
us a long time to get there because, at the beginning, as I said, they were expensive.
Yeah.
Now you can get a kit basically for $70.
Okay. So out of this 3,000-ish people,
Yes.
can you come up with a specific example or an anecdote of someone who was really surprised?
Sure, every round there's somebody who's really surprised or
Right.
something crazy happens. But one that's kind of interesting is that there was a young woman in my class and we had started talking and you ask somebody about their background, you get into all kinds of conversations, and she said, I am part Scandinavian and part Asian. And I said, oh, that's interesting. Has anybody ever asked her if you had African background? And she said, all the time, but I don't. And so, and just in a whole different way, she got involved in the project. And we tested her and we actually had some people reveal on camera. Well, when she opened it up, she's actually a quarter African background. And she was shocked and she started to cry, and she said that she had actually had kids say they wouldn't play with her because she was black. And she said, oh no, I'm not black. And I asked her, afterwards if I didn't want to embarrass her on tape or anything, but she said, no, I'm really glad. I feel like a burden has been lifted for me.
Yeah, definitely. When you start to discover things about yourself, you feel like your truest form.
Absolutely, and just knowing the truth is really helpful. And of course, these DNA tests help us learn something about a particular kind of truth.
Right.
But,
so why do you think it's so hard to talk about race, and what do you think this DNA project is doing to help mitigate that separation?
Well, think about how often we talk about race and somebody's shot somebody or somebody has, there's some terrible, violent, hateful thing has happened. So this is a way to talk about race, and it's fascinating, and everybody can be involved in it. And whatever happened in our past, good, bad, or indifferent, it led to our survival. And so when people talk about your people or mine, one of the things that you quickly find out in the DNA is that it's our people.
Right, and we're all interconnected, more so than we thought.
Very much so. And even when you think this happened to my people, and an African American will talk about like rape, etc., terrible things, that becomes part of your DNA profile and who you are, and you wouldn't be here if that hadn't happened. So it's always a complex mixed bag, and I think it's humbling to everybody.
Wow. So what do you think would happen if, hypothetically, everyone in the world had access to these kits and were able to take DNA tests and talk about it? How do you think things would change?
I think, as I said, I think it's humbling. I think there'd be a lot of surprises. And I think that it would lead to conversations that we need to have. I also think that we have to have a way to facilitate those conversations, because the goal is not to just have people re-categorize themselves.
And
but
separate themselves.
Exactly. But to have people really talk about both our diversity and distinction and how much we share.
So this is more really about unity and coming together.
Unity and complexity and ambiguity.
Right. Well, thank you very much.
Sure.
It's been amazing talking to Dr. Anita Foeman, Professor of Communication Studies, and I'm Maureen Farley reporting for The Dub. Thank you.
Thank you.